Hey guys, I'm coming to you guys today with a different video. Because I'm sure you guys like watching PvPs and 2v2s with Mikey and pet videos. But I know that you guys are looking at this critical update. And you're like, oh my god, King Dial, why? King Dial, why'd you do this to King Dial? You like really think though, King Dial. Like King Dial, like actually, like, I'm taking all my money. I'm putting it into Hearthstone. I'm using it to buy naughty videos on YouTube. You're gonna use that money for a lot of things instead of subscribing to Wizard 101. But here's why I think the critical and block system is actually a lot better than the other update we've had, okay? So I want you guys to bear with me, because I know there's a lot of controversy over this. But here's all I'm gonna say, and this is my opinion, and if you disagree with it, I guess I do see why. But I think that when a game update comes out, the first thing you should do isn't complain. The first thing you should do is to actually test it out and see why this update happened, okay? Now, this critical update, block update. Block has a really small value now, so if you want to block reliably, you need a high block rating. So I'm going to give you the tips and tricks, okay? And it's just like any other update. There is farming involved, and there is a good pet involved. But the end result is actually a lot better than you think. Alright, so let's start. So for this update, you can do two things, okay? One, you can just wear all Malister gear. So that's what I'm doing on my Storm, okay? But I'm going to show you an alternative setup as well on my Balance, because they're both level 110s. So I'm rocking the Malister's hat, the Malister's robe, and the Malister's boots. I'm rocking the level 110 Fortune Teller's Eternal Gaze wand. If you have the 100, that's great. And if you want like a non-crowns option, just rock this, okay? Now, I'm just saying though, you do lose about 22 block, which is, in my opinion, a lot. So I would try, if you can, to go for this, just for the block. Now, if you want pip chance, that's the difference between these two. If you like Pierce, use level 110 if you have it, and use a pip chance if you have a level 100. Yeah. And then this is what kind of ties it together, okay? So I've been doing a lot of tourneys, if you guys noticed. And this is the Athame from the Duelist Fatal Razor. And I know what you guys were thinking. 6,000 arena tickets for this? Yes, it's very powerful, but 6,000 seems really pricey. So I'm just going to go over the ideal gear set. Then I'm going to show you how you can... There's a non-crowns alternative to everything, okay? I just want to point that out for you guys who are freaking out about this. Because this is a good Athame, but there's something that's almost as good for certain schools. So then we have this. Now, this isn't the Rasputin one, if you guys were wondering. So, if you compare it to the Morgantha amulet, you lose Pierce, you gain health, and you gain resist. So, it's just it's just more defensive. Now, this is a tier 2 amulet. I'm going to tell you guys why the tier 2 amulet is a lot easier to get than the tier 1. But, again, for this part, I'm just going to go over the gear set that I think will help you through. Then we have the Duel's Daredevil Ring, the level 100 version, level 110, level 100 or 90 if you have it. Those are both great. You know, I mean, I could replace that stun resist with block if I really wanted, I guess. But, you know, block jewels, like the one right here, they can help a lot, but they're not necessary. This is where it becomes really important, okay? The pet, the double resist isn't necessary, and triple damage isn't necessary, but the defender talent is absolutely necessary for high-level PvP. So, whatever you do, there is a defender jewel. I just want to clarify that. There is a defender jewel. And you can make any, like, you know, subpar pet like this. Like, let's say I got rid of the Stormgiver and I put a defender. That would be great for this meta. Let's say let's say I just put a defender jewel on this. And then I got dealer at Mega. It would be a great pet. You know, all of these pets, they can be fixed like that. So, if you're looking for block, the defender jewel, it's very rare. But again, that's also just farming. You know, it's not like it doesn't cost any money, and it doesn't cost I don't think it costs as much time as getting a pet like this for someone who's just starting. And finally, you should get the deck. I just got this through questing. I have one for almost all my wizards. The best one is a triangle slot deck. This one's a square slot one, but the triangle one only drops in Rasputin, and I don't think he's worth as much time as others. So, enough of going over stats. I get 503 block with this, guys. This is absolutely great. Now, the 79%, if I put up a conviction, which adds 20% block, I'm pretty sure if I'm understanding it correctly, I have a 99% chance of blocking, which is extremely good. And it's going to be, and even with this 80%, it's a reliable strat because criticals rarely will even happen. Look at this. I have 456, and that's a 39%. If you work around its probability and you get to this 500 block, it's extremely reliable. I did some practice PvP with 330 block, and I lost all 3 matches. So what was considered good block before, it's not anywhere close to good. And here's the reason why. And this is the reason people are complaining, guys. Now, what happened to be good block before is bad block now. But this is great block because the block that you have versus the percent that you have to block, it's like, it's not, I don't know how else to say this, but it's not a linear relationship, it's exponential. Now, I guess it's a little mathematical, but the way it works, the more block you have, the more of a difference it makes. Instead of the same, like 28 block, going from 480 to 500 block, which is 20 block, right, will mean a lot more than going from 310 to 330. Even though they're both 20 block, the way this new system works, you gain a lot more block with just like, let's say I add another block jewel, I could actually gain a whole percent just block, and that's not anywhere close to 6 block isn't 1% from going from 0 to 6, if that makes sense. So try to get as high block as possible. Block is a go-to stat right now. And then my other stats are really good. With the gear that I'm rocking right now, my goal for this wizard is to just have, 50 resist, 121 damage, 456 crit. It's decent, okay? I'm not going to crit all the time, but it's decent, especially when someone doesn't have this much block. This could come through. 42 Pierce. Pierce is always an important thing, and 80 pip chance. Now, if you're looking at the low pip chance, I can put a 10 pip here and get a deck that has a triangle slot from Rasputin, and I could have 100 if I was going for perfect stats like that. That's what I eventually plan on doing. And I also have a Maycast Shatter talent involved. So these are, in my opinion, the best way to get stats. This is the best way. Full Master gear, the level 110 wand, Fatal Razor with all of this and a Pip Jewel, the level 110, the tier 2 or tier 1 if you're lucky enough to get it, amulet from Polaris, the Daredevil ring, just anything with block. It could even be blocker, if anything. And then hopefully another triangle slot pip. Okay, with that. Now, that's a lot. I understand. That's a lot. Like, that's arena tickets. That's crowns. Although I gave you an alternative. That's effort. And this is just farming, which I know that sucks. Even this is a little bit of farming. Now, let me just show you the non-crowns and a little less effort with the same, there's the same end result. And that's what I'm doing on my balance at the moment. Now, my balance does have the Fatal Razor, but he got another thing, and this is important. So, first things first, if you're going for an amulet, don't do Rasputin, guys. It's just not worth it. I'm going to credit Nectar and Nanas for showing me this. There are tier 2 amulets, and they drop very easily here, especially for your school. And Rasputin, what he does, he can drop tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 amulets. So you have a much better chance of getting your amulet here, and then farming Rasputin later on in your free time. That's where I've been getting the majority of my amulets. At the moment, I don't have it on my balance, but look, I have this, and this, just the regular Malister gear, and I could rock the level 100 version or the level 110 version. I was lucky to get it, or the Darkmoor one, like the wand. If you guys want to, here, I'm just going to show the non-crowns alternative, okay? And I'll put on the Hades raiment just for good measure because I don't want to lose out on too much block by wearing this instead of this. Now, this I got from questing, and I think I got it from the Jeweled Slope. So this is the go-to place if you want to farm a lot. If you compare it, this is my Fatal Razor that I got recently. If you compare it, the only difference really that would matter to most schools is the damage. You can get the same Pierce at the same slots, and sure, the incoming and outgoing, yeah, but it's really the damage. So if you're willing to give up 7 damage for a non-crowns alternative, look, I'll wear this for now. And I don't even have the tier 2 amulet or the Rasputin amulet, so let's just leave it at that. I would put on my Alpha and Omega ring if you want. That's a non-crowns alternative, so let's go with that since we're going non-crowns right now. A block pet, super important, guys. This is the one thing that I think takes a lot of effort. And then anything with block, really. Let's see. Any deck with block. I think this is my best one. And we're dealing with 469 block. And this is without an amulet that will give me about 31 more. So I'm at 500 block again. And this is without luck. This is farming. This is farming. This is farming. This is farming. This is just questing slash farming, which you can get it right here. Jeweled slopes. This is farming too, but the drop rate is a lot easier again if you farm here jeweled slopes. And this, I mean, I think a lot of people have it, and this is effort. So the way to get high block isn't to just spam arena, to spam the tourneys. To get high block, and that's the goal should be 500 if you want to reliably block. You should be going for things that the Polaris does just so you can have block. Are you going to give up stats? Yes. Look, my damage, it's not that high. 94 damage, it's not that high. I mean, 23, oh, well, 23 Pierce, it's low, but that's because I don't have either of these in. I also don't have my, yeah, I don't have any, whatchamacallit, Pierce jewels in. I would have, what, like 18 more, and that's actually really good. I'd have 41 Pierce. I think that's good. So, and you can fix these stats up with jewels. But these aren't bad stats. That's what I want to point out. And then, you can experiment. Like, should I wear the Darkmoor robe and, get some more accuracy if that's what I'm missing? Sure, I'll lose block, but I can make that up, Can you get a double block pet? There's so many things you can do without needing arena tickets, without needing crowns, and more importantly, without losing your mind over the new crit update, okay? So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I just hope this helps you guys survive the new crit system, because I know it leaves a lot of people unable to, but just a quick recap of all the things you should do. Farm this place, guys, at Jeweled Slopes. It's a dungeon before Rasputin. He drops, especially if you're a guy like me who has multiple schools, if you run through all the bosses, you have a really good chance of getting all the square slot decks and all the tier 2 amulets. And as you saw in my storm, the tier 2 is extremely good. You barely lose out on anything. Again, tell me if you have any questions. I really want to help you guys out. Because instead of complaining, I think we should actually value KingsIsle for what they've done, because I think they've addressed a lot of what we want in PvP. Maybe not lower level, okay? I'm not going to pretend like I know what happens in lower level, but I do, and I'm pretty sure they're fixing it right now, but I know higher level is far from broken. I just want to point that out. Every school now has a single hit shadow spell. If you notice, all the schools that were powerful before this update were the ones with single hit shadow spells. Life, balance, ice, and fire. Those all had the single hit shadow spells. Now, the ones that were weak before, Death, Storm, and Myth, are given a chance again by getting a single hit. If you guys just notice the beauty of what they're doing, they're balancing the game a lot more than people are getting credit for. And I don't think things like, starting petitions, calling them stupid, complaining, that's not the way to go, guys. Look at this. Look, literally, none of this takes crowns. If I wanted to just spend money to be subscribed, none of this takes crowns. And in my opinion, I would be very comfortable, after I get the tier 2 amulet, I'd be very comfortable going into PvP with those stats. So, again, I hope this helped. Stay awesome. Yeah, this is a crit guide. Share this with as many people as you can, guys, because I don't want people losing faith in this game, It's a great game. And instead of complaining, I think we should really try and make the best out of it and see where it goes. I'm not saying that I like the crit system yet. I haven't tested it out completely. What I am saying, though, is that there's no way that they're going to not change the system unless they have a reason to, Like the company, give them a chance, guys. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy. I think I've said that like 3 times. Stay awesome. And yeah.